The abbess and Benji are both liars who present themselves as protectors, and both use the exact same trick to control the people closest to them, convincing them that submission is key to safety. Full spoilers ahead, we're going to be talking about the real villains of The Knight and the Moth, the abbess and Benji.
I'm Ale.
I'm Carla.
And this is Booked and Buzzin. And are we buzzing?
Oh, we're buzzing.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So,
in honor of Sprites, we have lemons because Sprites are like spirit, like woodsy. No?
You see?
Okay. We have lemon vodka Sprites. Today.
And we've had a few.
Yeah, we have. So we're feeling very buzzin' today.
Yeah, we are. We're feeling very buzzin'.
But this has been an episode that has been up and coming. We've teased it a little bit because we have talked about Benji here and there.
Yes.
We've talked about the abbess here and here, here and there, here and here. But today we wanted to dive into them and talk about them both and like their roles and
the villain origin story, I feel. Like in the book. I feel.
The villain origin story.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's two villains in the book and they both have an origin story and we know both of their origin stories in book one.
Yes, and they're opposite. They are opposite perspectives that become equally problematic.
Yes. So it's so interesting that you say that because normally you'll say like, okay, well, this is bad and this is good, right? And they both present themselves as like the highest part of the opposite.
Yes.
So it's like if you're saying, well, like, okay, well, the religion is bad. The abbess, she's the religion. She's bad. So the other side must be good. The other side would be Benji. Benji is not good.
But
there's corruption on both sides.
Surprise.
And surprise that there's corruption in religion and in government.
Ooh. Yes.
The two biggest authorities in people's lives.
Yes.
And I think that that's a really fun part that she touches where it hits kind of close to home.
And when I was processing A Knight and the Moth, like when I was kind of coming up with the themes that I remember reading through this story and kind of creating the themes in the book, I felt like she was kind of being like, your belief system is shit.
No,
constantly.
I just kind of feel like she was like, question it.
Yeah.
Question it all.
Question authority.
Mm-hmm.
Question where you're getting your beliefs. And I can't sit here and say that shouldn't be an actual reminder for everybody.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I think it's in the dynamic of this world that we're living in where everything is so uncertain.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny to read a book that fleshes open all of those questions. Within its own dynamics, right? Like it's not specifically talking about, oh, this country, that country, this environment, that. No, she's just like, in this world, let's take a look. Let's take a look and look at that.
Well, because she does it so wonderfully. Because here's the thing. When you start A Knight and the Moth, you right off the bat we're like, okay, the abbess is a problem because she is describing a religious entity almost that is very much followed, respected, and not questioned. And everybody just falls in line, the gargoyles and the diviners, right? And so you get like, when you begin this book, you get almost like the fresh of breath air, and this is Benji and mendacious, and you're just on this adventure. But little by little, you also see
you peel those layers back.
Yes, you see the wrong side of Benji taking what he's trying to convince you is the right road and twisting into his own benefit. So it's basically still showing you the abbess's manipulation is very forced, and very in your face. But Benji's was sneaky.
It was, but I thought also it was pretty obvious to me and you because we both called it out.
But what I mean is like we didn't
what
think
he's trying
that,
to do, yes, is sneaky.
We didn't think that his main goal was to get to the end, like what he did.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. That did throw me off.
Yeah.
Well, but let's talk about the abbess.
Okay, let's go.
So who is she presenting herself as? And it's very clean and clear cut. She presents herself as a mother. A mother to the diviners.
Someone
took in foundlings.
Yes. Someone that they look for
gives them
validation.
Home. Someone that gives them validation.
Comfort.
She replaces their names with a number.
Cult-like.
She presents herself as religious authority. Very prominently, very quickly.
There's
she
morality
is the human face of the omens. She talks about the respect of the omens.
Yes.
She performs divinations. Even though she's not doing it, she's overseeing it. You know, she's always part of the divinations. She has a very controlling narrative and faith of Tarim.
Yes.
So she's presenting herself as a mother. She's presenting herself as a religious authority. And even then, very manipulatively, she presents herself as protective and nurturing to the diviners. Where she's like, over here, you're safe. And I will protect you.
As long as you don't leave the cathedral.
As long as you don't leave.
Holy. You are on a pedestal.
Which is an indoctrination. But
Yes. You are on a pedestal of this whole world. Because the entire world building is that everybody in every single hamlet comes to you to tell them their omens.
Yeah.
You are chosen. There's only 6 of you in this entire world at a time.
Very good at making you feel special.
Yeah. One of a kind. And within the idea of the abbess, there's also almost a feeling that I got from the beginning of the book where not all of the diviners, but at least the main protagonist 6 is like constantly like, but I can be the best.
Oh,
but I deserve the most love.
Yes.
So it's also created.
It's like vying for her love.
Yes. It's created a villain-ish that also has created a power dynamic where the only true enlightenment is her approval.
But it's the smartest way to be a villain is to rule with love.
Yes.
Because that holds a lot more.
Or with hope of validation.
Hope and love. Because she's like, she is giving them love. It's controlled amounts, but she is. And that for a long time is enough to control them all.
Soul.
And the only thing that trumps that love that she gives them is the love they feel for one another.
Which is the only reason that Sybil rebels.
Correct. So there's the image of what she presents.
Yeah.
But then there's the image of who she really is, which is she is the moth. She's the sixth. She's the unnamed omen. Yeah. She's the architect of the entire religion. She's the one who created it all. Like, she is...
For power.
Yeah, for selfish reasons. Because she wanted to have power. Because she wanted to dictate everything. Because she wanted to be in control of everything.
Yep.
Because she wanted to be the top of the top. And again, we talk about how, like, in a lot of the stories that you see... The king is the highest, and then there's this religion.
Yep.
But in this story, it's the religion is the highest, and then there's the king. It's a complete shift in power dynamics.
Yes. It reminds me of Game of Thrones.
Cersei? Oh, you're talking about at the end.
Yes.
When the
it reminds me of Game of Thrones. Yes.
Takes
and
over.
Cersei is like, fuck your religion at one point, but like all of a sudden... It became such a huge deal.
Yeah.
And they were overpowering Cersei.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
Yeah.
It is interesting because, I mean, you can look back in history and you could see the dynamics between religion and...
Yes.
And, I mean, you could even talk about Henry VIII and all his wives. That was a complete, like, power. I mean, listen. The shit that started because Henry... wanted to divorce his original wife, and the religion was saying no. I think it was Catholicism. He switched to Protestant, I believe. And then you know what that started was a war after he was gone. Not a war, but a battle between his children, because his first daughter with that first queen was Catholic. His second daughter with Anne Boleyn was Protestant. And so they were just constantly like, who became queen after that son of his that he died very early on because of complications of health. he didn't want to leave the throne to either of his sisters because of religion. So you see constantly in history, religion is a theme in
that kind
monarchy.
Of goes and back and forth between power.
And you do see that in this book, which is very, very, very interesting and telling.
Yep.
And so we see this abbess who is refreshingly taking all the power, where it's normally a king or a queen.
He's and shitting on the king.
No, literally laughing in his face.
Yeah, he comes in for a divination because that's apparently like tradition after you take the crown. And she's like, do you want my story or yours?
But it's an interesting play too, because like, okay, so we know that she manufactures the omens, she manufactures the dreams, she creates everything, right? And so it's kind of like, it makes you, when you're reading it, introspectively be like, what does this tell us about the nature of authority figures in general? You know?
That they're human with faults and are trying to manipulate.
And I feel like I think that it hit a little close to home, given the environment that we're in.
Yeah.
It was just really interesting. It was very interesting to read it and kind of look introspectively and be like, oh, shit. Like this could be applied in many ways in history and in life.
And in life, because I think like for so long, Carter and I have read together since we were kids, since we were in middle school.
Yeah.
And I think that we've always been just excited readers of many genres. But I think sometimes we almost like shy away from books are political.
Oh, absolutely. Every time
we do. We shy away constantly because we constantly just want reading to be our hobby.
Oh, I want it to be fun.
We love reading to be just fun.
Yeah.
But we're also very analytical. So like we're trying to have fun, but then we're like,
this is weird.
What is going on here?
Yeah.
So even though we can accept that books are very political, we try to stay within this being our hobby and not always forming very strong opinions and very strong judgments. But this was very obvious.
It was very obvious.
Yeah.
But I will say it was fun to see it.
Agreed.
Not applied to, it's hard when you're reading something and then it's like, and then the United States, or and then this country, or and then this country.
Reminds me of the whole thing. Yeah, I know.
It's not fun to be thrown back into your own world when you're reading something that's trying to make you disconnect.
And it's different. Like I feel like when we discuss, which we still have so many thoughts around that we never got around to, but the Hunger Games is very.
We could always do a reread.
I'm so down. But the Hunger Games is very much dystopian genre that makes real world events look very possible. That's not often what you get in fantasy. So to find ourselves here is our own doing.
I know. But we just landed in this, and it's I think it also just spoke to so many elements, and like, for example, let's talk about love as a leash, which is exactly what the abbess does.
Yeah.
She performs very like real, like attention giving.
Yes.
For a price.
Rituals.
For a price. She kisses them on the brows. She holds them close. She's right up and personal.
Always there for divination.
Until she kills them.
Which is crazy.
I mean, her core manipulation, her core tactic is manipulation.
And what a complete, like, inhumane lack of attachment.
I mean, Six says it herself. She says, not exactly, but she says that she starves them of attention. And then she dotes just enough attention to keep them warm and competing. Or not competing,
but competing. More. Yes, but competing and wanting more. And it's almost goes full circle.
And having them feeling grateful.
Yeah, for like they're holy and they were chosen.
Yes.
But this goes so full circle because I feel like she's almost blaming them for their lack of belief. She's almost like, I'll give you the world if you just always take my take of things.
She's so good at manipulating because she not only does that, but she also frames isolating them from everybody as protecting them. Yeah, because you're divine. Because I have to protect you. Because you can't be out there.
What do you mean?
Because you're safe in here. Yeah. Because you're special. Because you're holy.
Everybody's going to want to hurt you and overuse you or manipulate you.
And then but it's almost such who leaves, what happens? Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah. You're dead.
But it's crazy because I feel like she's also created this system where as long as you fall perfectly in line, you stay. And the second I get a whiff of your questioning outside of my beliefs and what I've instilled in you, you're gone.
But this speaks to the abbess's villainy because
there's no attachment for her. She's crazy.
The moment 6 leaves, she turns off the maternal and turns on the cruelty. Yeah. Because when 6 comes back, she's evil. Pure evil.
She's scary.
Laughing, cackling.
Calling her, you're a martyr. You wanted all my love and attention.
And it's scary to know that, like, I never knew you like this. I knew you as somebody that would give me love. Would, like, pasarme la mano. Would, like, give me affection. To, like, me the now you just flip the switch and now you're just a stone cold evil bitch. That's scary.
So scary.
From somebody that you've known your whole life.
Was someone and 6, right? When she questions her, even she feels dismissed, but there's a part of her that still feels like the best knows best, right? And I think that when you go towards the end of the book, you know that the abbess's intentions was to keep Sybil as a gargoyle.
Right, yeah. She was going to turn her into another
gargoyle. So there was a certain level of like, I want to keep her.
Yeah.
No, although as fucked up as it can possibly be, you could question the affection of at least 6. Not the other 5. She said, fuck you to them.
Affection is a stretch. But yeah, I get what you're saying. That you could question.
A certain level of attachment, maybe?
Yeah, sure.
So she was like, okay, like, I'm going to keep her. And then she questions you. And you're like, actually.
Well, it's funny because one of the things that she says, and this is how she justifies it, she says, a god is a monster and I'm certainly a god. Perfect. And she's being a demon when she does. Like, she's literally trying to kill her. She's trying to drown her. She's trying to just end her. And she, on her part, when she explains things, it's like almost like she genuinely believes that she loved the diviners.
Yep.
But she even explains, like, without nobody asking. Nobody asked. And she explains how she broke all of their necks.
Crazy.
This bitch is insane.
Crazy.
And it's only to the last few pages that you really see how disgusting she is.
Yes, but listen. This whole experience is crazy.
Yeah.
She made omens to pretend that they're important.
To control.
The whole realm. Based on omens that she made. They're fake. She controls all the dreams. And what is her goal? Power. That is it.
But yes.
Influence.
But let's talk about how evil she is. Like, you could dial it back. You don't even have to talk about her right now. We could dial it back to the origin. How fucking evil and disgusting is this bitch? Bartholomew. When he stopped listening to her, when he refused to keep dreaming her lies, she could have killed him. And she didn't. What did she do? She let him slowly turn into stone, which is a slow process.
Locked him away.
Let him turn into stone.
Yes.
And when she was pleased with him again, only then was she like, you can be a weapon to me now. You can be a gargoyle.
Cold.
Instead of killing him,
bitch.
instead of ending it, she said, I'm going to let you turn into stone. And then only once you're back to a version that I enjoy, then you could come out of the cottage.
Yes.
And then I can use you.
Yes.
Not, I'm going to end your suffering. No. You're going to stay alive because I feel like it. And you're going to turn into stone. And you're going to be my servant.
Her initial reaction. Her initial reaction was like, I'm done giving you this well water. Die. And it didn't come out that way. And then she found use for the gargoyle again.
Right. But it's like, instead of being like, let me just kill this motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, lock you away. Turn into stone. Let's see what happens to you.
Yep.
Oh, you turned into stone? Perfect. Oh, you're still giving me an attitude? Stay locked up.
Make my lawns pretty.
Yep. So the abbess is this evil, like...
bitch.
An evil bitch. And I can't say I didn't see it coming. I did know that she was going to be a piece of shit. I could see inklings. I was perplexed with the switch up, with how quickly she was like, you're a dumbass. Of course I used you. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck about you. I don't give a fuck about your sisters. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Look at my face. Look, I'm bald. And I'm stoned. And I'm going to kill you. Like that, her audacity did shock me.
Yep. I agree with that.
Benji, I knew. I smelled that shit within the first few pages.
Really?
Yes. And I think you did too.
So the thing is, yes and no. I smelled the trope of everyone underestimates me and I'm going to come back and bite everybody in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't expect him to be so committed at the end.
What did it for me was the moments where, and it was more than one.
Yeah.
Where she was told, like they postulated, oh, she could become a knight. And he was like, no.
Like the moments that he was tried.
Yes.
Almost. Like
where he
his
was
authority.
tried with Sybil.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
Because,
is,
and even from before that, I was like, I can't put my finger on you. You're not this like little innocent little boy. Like you're trying to paint yourself out to be.
But at first I thought he was.
No.
Like very, very beginning.
Well, yeah, like the first page. Yes. But after that, I was like,
well, I had already questioned when she was something like, oh, but what happens to the diviners after they leave? And he was like, nothing. There's nothing here.
But that to me, I read it shady. I didn't read it like that.
Well, no, I read that shady. I was like, how weird that he has this whole journal that his grandfather wrote about this whole system that he's trying to unravel, and there's nothing about them. But what I mean though, right? What I mean by this is like, yes, there were some clues here and there, but what I didn't expect was him to be so cold-blooded at the end. Like for him to shoot the gargoyle.
That threw me off.
Harm.
The initial.
Mendacious.
No. Okay. I was shocked by the moment. Like, okay, they just finished the action. Now there's a new action. But I wasn't shocked by what he did.
Okay.
I wasn't shocked that he went that far.
I was a little shocked. I was a little kind of like, I thought maybe there'd be a little bit like of a power struggle. But him to be just fully like, fuck you, all three of you.
I guess. All right. Let's talk about who he presents himself as, right?
Okay.
So, like, the abbess presented herself as, like, a mother and the head of this religion, right? So, he presents himself as, like...
a boy king.
A boy king that no one respects. Mm-hmm. He leans into that heavy.
Yeah, very heavy.
So, he performs immaturity. He does. He lets himself be underestimated. He lets himself be humiliated in public ceremonies.
And you can tell by the end of, like, the third or fourth woman,
he's over it. Yes.
Yeah.
So it's starting to bleed through. But that's how he presents himself. The boy king that nobody respects, right? How else does he how else does he present himself? The revolutionary. Yeah. I'm trying to end this religion. Yeah. It's corruption. It's evil.
Her story isn't right.
Mm-hmm. She's lying.
Yep.
How else? I'm loyal.
We're going to find your diviners. You come with me.
Yes. I'm loyal to my friends.
Yep.
Oh, Maud raised me. Roderick, I grew up with him. Right? That's how he presents himself. But who is he really?
They really just like guide me.
They're just, I've known them forever. I care about them. They're a part of my inner circle. But who is he really? I mean, the mask comes off a lot of times. It starts slipping. It slips. I mean, when he's being treated like a fool by everybody.
I mean, constantly, yeah.
Constantly. But like, yeah, Mahin, like around chapters 20, I don't know, like in the 20s. Yeah. He starts to get frustrated. No,
but I do think you're right about something. I feel like around chapter 20-ish.
Yeah.
When they're going to when Six is going to fight the oarsman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think there's a moment there where everybody's like, she can do it. And he's like, don't give her the gifts.
Oh, that's right. Yes. He's like, but what if she loses it?
Yeah, like I think Mendacious was like, I'll give her the coin so that she can like transport. And he was like, no.
What if she loses that shit?
Yeah, so like already there.
Yeah, you're right. It starts to slip, which is not something that an innocent boy would do. An innocent boy would be like, yeah, that's fine. And these are moments that you catch when you're reading and you're like, huh. Or like when he's having a meeting without Maud, without Roderick, Mendacious, with those two other knights. And it's like, what are you doing? Yep. Oh, I'm just meeting with them because they have money. That's not something that an innocent boy does.
No. Especially because if you were going to kind of bank on the innocence behind him at the beginning of this book, you have to think like, oh, he's just like a young king and he's getting the advice of other elders, whatever, Mendacious and Maud. But then all of a sudden, like even like that was quick in the book where she faces the oarsman and he's like, I don't want to lose that. You're already right away, even if you wanted to see this from surface level, you don't want to risk the coin for the life of Six.
Yes. But there's also multiple instances where when she joins, right? He's like, perfect. You're going to be the diviner. Everybody's going to love that. And you're like,
you've left the cathedral to
that's be a like, very intentional thing to think about. Or when she no longer sees herself as a diviner and they're like, you could be a knight. And he's like, no, she can't. She's my diviner. And she's going to present that to all the hamlets. And they're like, yeah, but if she doesn't want to be that anymore, then she's not. And he gets upset. And it's like a bickering between him and Mendacious.
He's like, no, you're supposed to give me more leeway.
Yeah, he's like, no, that's what she's here for. She's here to be the diviner. And then eventually they're like, whatever, she's going to be a knight. And he's like, okay, but you're still going to like wear that shroud thing, right? Yep. Like, or like even when she's being knighted and they're telling her like, oh, these are the oaths you have to take. And then Rory's like, but she doesn't need to like owe her, like she doesn't need to bind herself to you, like she's not gonna say that. And then he gets upset. He's like, no, these are the knight oaths, like she has to say that. And they start fighting. And it's like, these are things that like, if you were this like just chill boy king who doesn't care, you don't have expectations, you wouldn't be pushing so much. And so the mask slips quite a few times with Benji, where I started seeing him and I was like, I don't trust you, bitch. Yeah. I don't trust you. I don't like you. I don't buy this little like innocent me. No. I'm just a stupid little boy. I don't buy none of that shit.
No, and I don't know exactly. I wish I had exact like markers of this book, but there was two big moments where I'm like, the first one for me, I feel like you caught on earlier than I did, because the first one for me was the pushback at the oarsman where he was like, no, I want that coin. And I'm like, over her life? Mm-hmm. That was the first time that I was like. The second time was the knighting moment where like they're like, oh, make her a knight. And he was very like, okay, like swear your oath to me. Which, here's the thing. I mean, I think a lot of people read this and they're like on the side of like the what's it called? The how do we call them? The outliers band of Mendacious and Maud and whatever. But I will be super honest with you. Like, if I were the fucking king, what do you mean? Yes, you're a knight. You're sworn to me.
No.
The fuck?
I will say I agree with you that when I was reading this, I was like, why is everybody talking to him like he's not the fucking king?
Yes.
But
respect on my name.
But
is what I'm saying.
I learned pretty quickly that the power dynamics were not weird. I mean, the fact that they even elected him, they chose him to be king. You don't have that in a traditional monarchy. Yeah, no. It's just I am king because I'm the son of this person. Yeah. And that's not how this went. So I got an understanding that like the dynamics that I'm normally attaching to this stuff are different here. Yes. And so for that reason, even then, it made more sense to me that he was trying so much harder to be respected. Yeah, not even respected. I think he was trying to be accepted first.
Yes, and then somewhere along the lines, and I feel like this is where I feel like the peak happens, when they were doing the knighting of Six, and he was like, all right, so swear fealty to me. And Medicius was like, you don't gotta do that. She doesn't gotta do that. And he's like, that's what the whole point of being a knight to my kingdom is, though. And he was like, no, she was a diviner, and she gets to decide what she wants to do. And I'm just here thinking, like, kill them all. Yeah. Right? No, in my head. I do get that. As a king, I'm like, excuse me, who are you? Right? So when this kind of plays out and Benji starts giving a little bit more of like a pushback, that's when I'm like, he is starting to get bothered by these power dynamics. He's getting.
I get that. I do. But then there's also moments where like he gets jealous multiple times. Yeah. That Six is going to be with Rory. And it's not once, it's not twice, it's like 3 times at least. Yeah. And that made me be like, oh, okay, what the fuck is going on here? He has a crush on Six, or he wants to like, what's going on? Like, is
which
this like
I don't think that he does.
No, I just think that he was thinking strategically.
He sees it as a way of like, the cathedral's gone, the abbess is gone, but look at this diviner that chose to meet with me. And now we're going to take control of this whole kingdom.
Is my queen, essentially.
Yep. So it's pulling in all the hamlets to him.
I mean, and then you could even look at how he weaponizes all of the relationships. So like Rory, his like loyalty to Six is disloyalty to the crown, which it is. Yes. It is. But it twists perspectives of the whole dynamic and everything that's going on in all the relationships.
Because I don't think that Rory wants to be against Benji. I think Rory wants to be a part of Benji and
no one have wants his love to be interest. Against Benji, no. But I think Rory uses those relationships to like Maud. Her seeing him as the boy king for too long is him being like, you're almost like your devotion to the crown is not to me. Your devotion is to what the crown is, because I'm your king and you're looking at me like the boy king. You're telling me what to do, which she is. Yeah. But if you think about it in the way that he frames it, it's like he says, I love Maud, but I care about Rory, but
he's outgrown based on the influence of I'm the big bad.
And then he sees Six and he's like, I need you. You're going to be my wife. And the way I'm going to do it is by threatening their lives. Yes. Rory, Maud, and Bartholomew, they will die if you don't come with me. Yep. So he's a lot smarter than what we give him credit for. Because in the beginning, middle, and towards the end of the book, I'm like, this kid is just a fucking kid.
He definitely is smart, because when he sets this whole play up where he was like, okay, I'm taking full control. Six is marrying me. Fuck your gargoyle. Fuck Mendacious. Fuck Maud. You know what he had? Backup. His soldiers were running up the hill. And if at one point, and he says it, he's like, play your cards right. say yes and they can get away. Because if my team shows up,
they're fucked.
You're all fucked. Because I just need to be like, they turned on me. And whose side do you think they're going to be on?
Exactly. And I think that you can even see a glint of pain in his eyes that she expresses. Like, she's like, I could tell that it like hurts him to think about hurting Maud, but he's like, I'll do it. It is what it is. I'm gonna do what the fuck I need to do.
It's impressive.
It is. I still don't like him. It's still
no, I don't like him. I just think I'm a villain stander.
From a villain standard, he did a good job. He did a honestly. Good job. He did a good job. I mean, like, you could talk about even like the differences between the abbess and Benji. Really, the key difference is like the ancientness of the abbess, the
institutional power.
Yes, that it's been institutional. Yeah. That she's convinced herself, yes, that her cruelty is a divine right. Versus Benji, he's young.
It's the right way to be.
Yes. Versus Benji, he's young and his cruelty is raw. Like, it's like, yeah. I shattered your gargoyle's wing. I'll kill them right here, right now. It's calculated. It's in real time. He's consciously building a system. He's like, this is what's going to happen. You and I are going to reign. You're going to be seen as the religion. I'm going to be seen as the state. Government. And we're going to be together. And I'm going to be the absolute power. Period.
Done. Mm-hmm. You know what's also hard about this dynamic now that I think about it? Is also the idolizing of his grandfather. He's so young and he's like, I find this journal and he was murdered. Mm-hmm. And
that has to have done. He was also raised humiliated because of his grandfather.
Yes, because even when the story starts, the abbess humiliates him. He's like, mm-hmm. Do you want your story or the right one? Yeah. And he was very much like continuously dipping his shoulder. He's like, I want it done right, like whatever you think. Mm-hmm. So he's constantly like showing his neck almost, like constantly like, here you go, here you go, here you go. Yeah. And who's not going to get over that? Especially with, I genuinely think, I don't think that he had this plan ahead of time, by the way. I don't think so. No, I think that he started off this plan with Mendacious and Maud being like, if we can take control of the hamlets, then we can make a better government. And somewhere in the middle of this, he was like, I'm the fucking king.
No, I think that initially his idea was like, okay, I'm going to lay over and just take it.
That's what I mean.
But we're going to take, I think his goal was always the same. We're going to take all of the tokens, whatever they're called, all the
objects of omens. Yeah.
We're going to take them all.
No,
and
you're right.
I'm going to be powerful. I don't think he ever thought to share that with them. I think 6 came along and he was like, wait, perfect. Religion,
I agree with
state,
you.
Together. But I think he always had the same plan. I think his plan was always to include his friends, but I think as he kept going and he saw how 6 and Rory were growing closer, I think he realized like, this isn't gonna pan out. What I wanted was absolute power, but it's not gonna work that way. So here's what's gonna happen. I'm still gonna get all the omens. And this girl, she could be by my side. I think he started to think about it. I think it wasn't like an immediate thing. No, I think he started to consider it. And that's why you see jealousy here and there start to sprout up when Rory and 6 are having their little thing. And he starts being like, And then I think he comes to a point where he's like, you know what? This is what the fuck I'm going to do. I'm going to have all of this power, but they're still going to want religion. And that's what 6 is for. Yeah. She's going to be my wife.
No, I think that, yes, I think you're right. I think that he always had the idea. What I mean is, like, I think he always had the idea to be like, me, I did it. Like, I am the superpower here.
Right.
I just don't think that he, from the beginning, thought he was going to betray Mendacious.
No, Maud, I don't think he thought that either. I
think that at that point, he was like, I know what I need to do to become where I need to go to.
I think as he saw Rory pushing back constantly with him
over 6.
Yes, I think that's when it started to cement for him that like
Agreed.
you can't stay here.
Agreed.
To Rory.
Agreed.
So all in all, I think that both villains, it was really fun.
Manufactured system of control.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think it was really fun to see both sides, religious and political.
Yes.
I think this is the first book that gives us such a representation of that.
I have an opinion. Just really quick. Just really, really quick. Here's the thing. I think for different moments we've both been history buffs, and I think we've also been raised in a very religious point of view, both of us.
Definitely.
And this is what's interesting about this. I feel like in history, the beginning, I don't know if the right word is dogma, but it almost in history has always shown like humans become communities that begin belief systems. And we see this forever. The Roman Empire, the Greek Empire, etc. And what is interesting about this book, I feel, is like the gods and the religious always comes kind of first, because humans need a belief system or like something that they can't explain. And all of a sudden people come in with government and science and they're like, no, like listen, like we're all the same, and like I just want to make this all together. Yeah. And that's literally what happened in this book. The abbess was the religious doctrine. These are the hamlets. Every hamlet has its omen. Its omen. You come to me to read your fortune, and you do as I tell you. And this is all controlled. And Benji does come in like a fresher breath air of like, no, like I just want a government. Like we are all the same, and I just want to help us all come
Which is
into.
Bullshit. He's lying, like all politicians do. But
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like it always kind of starts with religious against the political aspect that comes in, and then when you're too deep into the political aspect, you see that that's kind of shit too.
I think it just speaks to such a true nature of what we've seen in so many situations where it's like,
girl,
each side is extreme.
Every history of every country,
everybody stands to gain something once you have power. Yes. And that's what it is. The abbess is her own set of powers.
The perfect villain origin story for both of them, honestly.
Honestly, it's the most realistic, true life type of villains that you can meet. And it's the heads of two different organizations that are necessary in so many ways to most societies. Yep.
The abbess and Benji.
The abbess and Benji. I mean, it was a really interesting read. It was really fun to see the two of them.
I feel like it was really fun to read it.
And I think so.
And to covering it,
to digest it, and
actually,
yeah, I think that like initially it was just superficial, and then once we continued to think about it, we went
thinking,
we went deeper into it, and we were like, wow, so like this really speaks to a higher note. But all in all, we have two major villains in this book. Yep. So,
and that's where it kind of leaves off, right? Like when it really leaves off, like the abbess is destroyed, the cathedral is destroyed, the well where there's the magical water is destroyed. Yeah. And Benji holds all the power, and
you can even ask yourself, like, which was the scarier villain? Was it the one who had centuries to justify herself? Or was it the one who built this entire plan and everyone just underestimated him?
Well, I think it's also very telling in our day-to-day life, like which truly creates more power and more fear. Is it your religious beliefs or the government in which you abide to?
Yeah. So I guess we gotta read book 2 and see.
So that's the thing, right? So book 2 is
who holds all the power now?
Yeah, so Benji holds all the power. Yeah. So book 2 is starting off with
but Benji is in a world where everybody believes in religion. So like, yeah, technically right now he holds all the power. So tangibly, but in reality, in their society, who's gonna hold all the power? Is it gonna be 6?
In a way, but
is
not
it going to
really.
be Benji? Is 6 going to be too distraught with what happened to really recognize, like, wait, hold on. I could really cause some fucking mayhem here.
I think she's going to come into her own, because reality is that if book 2 starts soon after book 1's plot, right? The Gorgo and Maud and Mendacious ran away. So at that point, 6 is going to be like, what you got on me? Because you need me to follow through with your plan.
I don't know. It's interesting because, I mean, she's also lost everything, then regained her sense of self and lost it all.
Learned
in
a
one
new
moment.
system. Yeah.
So it's really interesting to see, like, what's going to happen.
I know.
What are the power dynamics going to be like in book 2? And I can't foresee that religion and government are not going to fight in book 2 the way they did in book 1.
Agreed. I'm excited.
Yeah,
book 2's
it's really interesting.
In September.
I think this is going to be a fun...
The Moon.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is actually a sequel that I am really excited about for this year.
It's coming up. It's like right around the corner.
Yep. September.
Yep.
So keep up with us, because I do think this is one of our last theme videos. But before book 2 drops, you're going to have a full recap and a couple more.
Yeah.
Based on what we come up with.
Thank you for watching. See you guys next time, and let us know your thoughts below.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.